Now, a few other points. There are a number of dependencies for Antares, and one of the helpful things about how it's been designed is that there's a configure program that you run before you do the actual compile of the code. And then that configure program tells you all of the dependencies that you're missing and how to install them. The problem is there are at least 2 dependencies I found which it doesn't detect, at least in the GitHub version. So I'm going to install those now, along with Git, because without Git, obviously, you can't do anything with GitHub, other than maybe surf the website. So we'll start by installing Git, sudo apt-get. This is just a standard Linux package manager install. So sudo apt-get install git. Now it will need the administrator password. And that's a pretty fast install, but they need your permission to use up 25.6 megs of disk space, which is a pretty small program by today's standards. Well, this is taking a little bit longer than I expected, but I know that this install works. Right, there we are. Now, next program we will need is called Ninja. So we install it by typing sudo apt-get install Ninja. Didn't need my administrator password that time because I guess I entered it earlier. So it runs through those files. And there we are. Now, the next thing we need is a Python script called GI. Actually, it's not a script. Correction. It's incorrect terminology, actually. It's a Python module, I should say. And it's like the math module and things like that that you use as shortcuts in Python programming. Basically, the idea is you don't have to write your own algorithms. So this is how you install a module in Linux to make that compatible. Sudo apt-get, not GI, or install, of course. Sudo apt-get install, instead of typing in GI, because it's a Python module, you go Python -GI. I'm not entirely sure on the technical reason for that requirement, but there seems to be a certain amount of Python in the scripts used to install and operate Antares. Now, the next thing we will need is the source code itself for Antares. So for that, we'll use Git. So sudo git clone, which is the term used in Git for copying files over from the internet or wherever you're getting them from. HTTPS, that's important. And then the URL. github.com Ares Central, which is a little bit confusing because Antares is a port of Ares, and of course the port source code is Antares, not Ares. Antares.git. Check my typing there. Yes, that's all correct. Now this will take a little while because this is the actual source code being downloaded. And there we go. So the source code is downloaded. Now we'll find where it is on our hard drive here. So list, for ls of course in Linux. There it is. There's the directory, Antares. It's in my home folder. So we will enter that directory because it's necessary to continue. cd Antares, change directory Antares. And then we will look at what's inside, ls list. And all of that is what we will need, not just, well, it includes both the source code itself, plus the Python scripts, plus the configure program, plus anything we need to actually compile. Maybe with the exception of Ninja. I don't see Ninja in there. The first thing that we will do is run that configure program to find the remaining dependencies which are not installed. So to do that, we have to run sudo again, configure, some submodules are missing. So we have to go sudo. That's what they're not telling you. They're not telling you to use sudo, but you need to use it. Git submodule update -- init build ext data. And this will not be the last dependency we have to install either, because there are quite a lot of them. But we'll start with this one because that's what they're telling us. Okay, there we go. Now we run configure again. Sudo /configure as before. And that will tell us about some more dependencies. And all of those are missing. All of that. Missing, and so on. So, helpfully, it tells us how to install the missing dependencies. So in the next video we'll do that, and then we can compile. See you in the next video.